We got hot fixes coming in, patch notes to go through real quick, a few things you should get done this week, and of course, Race to World First updates. Here's the update on Race to World First. There are no updates. That's right. The guilds are currently doing their heroic splits and everything. Nobody's really progressed very far in terms of mythic ratings, so the Race to World First continues forward. I've seen some people, hating on the Race to World First this season. Seems like people think it's kind of been ruined by this whole split rating scenario. And to be fair, I mean, the Race to World First is fun, but I think what Blizzard did with this raid split has kind of been fun. I've been enjoying the feeling of like a new raid opening up once again, even though we're almost like mid-season now, Season 1. We're about 2 weeks in. We're not mid-season, but, we're into the season now, and it still feels like we're getting new shit. So I appreciate this raid split. I understand it kind of messes up the Race to World First, but the majority of WoW players do not participate in the Race to World First, so I think they've done an okay thing here. Don't purchase your coffer keys. That's right. Or you can now. I think it's been hotfixed. We'll get into that a little bit with the patch notes here. But it turns out just the other day, people were spending 2K undercoin on restored coffer keys and not getting their coffer keys. That's right. If you reach rank 6 in Delves, you're able to have the option to purchase 2 coffer keys per week with your undercoin, which means you can spend 4K of undercoin to get those coffer keys. Well, people were purchasing them. Blizzard was taking their undercoin and then not giving them the loot. Yeah, unfortunate. So some people were losing their shit there. Blizzard addressed the issue, and they dropped some patch notes. So let's get into this real quick. We got some hot fixes coming in. We got some class fixes and stuff. So let's see what all these patch notes are all about here. Abundance. So the Abundance event has been canceled this week because of latency issues and the fact that the World Boss is currently in the same zone as the Abundance event. Blizzard has canceled the Abundance event. It is no longer abundant, so to say, and that's because they're trying to solve the issue of all these players coming into the same zone and doing content there. So for at least this week, from Tuesday to Tuesday or Wednesday to Wednesday, if you're in the EU, you will not be able to do the Abundance event. As far as classes go, we have a couple hot fixes coming out. Devour Demon Hunter, they fixed an issue causing Void Ray to eradicate to strike enemies extremely high into the air. That's freaking hilarious. For Hunters, they fixed an issue where Primal Rage was failing to cast when used with Command Pet. For Survival Hunters specifically, they fixed an issue causing an area damage spells like Wildfire Bomb and Boomstick to not consistently apply Sentinel's Mark to the primary target. And then for Discipline Priest, we see they fixed an issue where Revel in Darkness is not increasing the damage of Shadow Ward Pain. I swear to God, sometimes the way they type this shit is just to confuse me. All right, so that makes sense. For Delves, they fixed the issue that I just mentioned, the restored coffer keys purchases, so you can, in fact, go use your undercoin to get your restored coffer keys if that's what you want to do. And then they got a couple raid fixes in here, one of which I'm going to absolutely fucking rage on you guys about. But Myasara Caverns, first of all, they fixed an issue where Voidbound Emissary can spawn during Rack Tools intermission on Mythic Plus difficulties. And then for the raid specifically, Beleren, here we go. We got a couple issues they got fixed. They fixed an issue where Eternal Burns is not applying correctly to players. Fixed an issue where the Light and Void Embers would fail to dive bomb if the targets died. So yeah, the little birdie boys weren't coming down. Fixed an issue where the Void Patch was apparently a little bit larger than the Light Patch. And then this one right here. Fixed an issue where tanks could be infused with the same feather color. You fuckers told me I was lying about that shit. I'm literally live on stream and I'm screaming my head off. I'm like, we got the same color. The two tanks, we got the same color. I'm gonna have to die here. I'm gonna take this hit and I'm gonna fucking die. And you guys are all like, no, you just suck at the game, Sam. No, it's your fault, Sam. You're blind. You had to. And I kept saying it. I'm like, I think this shit's broken. I'm pretty sure we were both light infused. Yeah, turns out it was a real thing. Yeah, no way you weren't trolling. Thank you. Yeah, no, I wasn't. Why would I fucking troll that? I literally got killed over that shit. I basically had to reset my character. So I let the other tank, because I'm a good man and a man of the people, I let the other tank soak the light, and I intentionally soaked the void frontal cones just because what were we going to do? So I was a light-infused guy. Both tanks were light-infused, and I intentionally took the void cones, and I died. When I got B-rezzed, I think I was given the right infusion color, so then things were fixed from there on out. We still say you suck at the game. Well, you know what? I mean, I can't win. I can't win at all. The accusations will continue, but at least I feel a little bit vindicated that I wasn't fucking losing my mind. Time walking issues have also been fixed. Evidently, players had too much health the other day with time walking, wasn't scaling properly. That issue has been fixed. And then a couple item fixes, some PvP fixes as well for Paladin and Enhancement Shaman here. For Enhancement Shaman, Doom Winds and Ascendants not showing on enemy nameplate buffs. And then for Paladin, Searing Glare now shows as an important aura on raid frames. And then the Ultimate Sacrifice now shows as a big defensive on raid frames and shows as a buff on enemy nameplates. So there you go, a couple of quest fixes too. So that's it for patch notes. Going forward, we also see there was a fix in terms of Battleground, right? Battleground reputation. Turns out people weren't getting a lot of honor, and people have been complaining about the amount of honor they get from Battlegrounds. Well, Blizzard released a blue post saying they agree, and they have significantly increased. That's what they said here. They didn't say how much, but significantly increased the amount of honor that you earn from Battlegrounds. That was a hot fix that is now live, so you can go do Battlegrounds and get that shit, get your little bit extra honor. Or it looks like significant amount of honor. I said a little bit, it's a lot more honor. So Blizzard at least listening to feedback there and scaling that properly. Leather workers. Rejoice, not only are you going to be creating assless leather chaps, as you always have, you will be able to create a pet. That's right, I should say a mount in 12.0.5. Creating a mount in 12.0.5 will be made available to you guys via a little drop, okay? So there's going to be a drop here. This is a bind on pickup drop, the Broken Links Leash. Anybody will be able to pick this up. This is not only available to leather workers, so you will be able to put in a work order if, in fact, this leash does drop for you. This thing will be picked up via the ritual sites, which are a new 1 to 5 player instanced. It's like a delve kind of content piece where players will be going through these little ritual sites. There is a chance of this thing dropping. It's a bind on pickup, and if it in fact does, yes, leather workers will be able to craft the spell Rope Links Harness, which will give you a Voidy Boy Links. There's no animation right now. This thing might have some cool animations to it of how the void is, moving across its skin and stuff. But for right now, it's basically a purple Void Corrupted Links. So I always think these things are cool. I always like it when professions get some mounts to make because I don't give a shit about professions other than having my damn weapon crafted every single season. But having a mount craft, that's kind of cool. It's something that actually I think people enjoy. So there you go, coming in 12.0.5. The Fanta. Do you want a Fanta? Right? I don't know if you were in the 90s, if you guys remember those commercials. I do. They were burned into my brain. But Fanta is running a WoW thing. They're actually doing it for the Xbox 25th anniversary. So Xbox is celebrating its 25th anniversary this year, and Fanta's collabing with them to bring some in-game items, including Diablo and World of Warcraft. That's right. For WoW in particular, you have a chance at winning this Wave Shredder mount, this sturdy portable ice chest that's a decor item, and the corked bottles of liquid mystery. That's right, a little reference to Fanta there. So you can get these things without even purchasing a single Fanta. You just go to their website here. It's a limited time promotion. US players will go right here. You'll scan this little barcode, and then you get like a mission that you have to accomplish to be able to actually get, I don't know if you get a chance to win these things or what, but it's a limited giveaway. So it's very limited, actually. In terms of numbers, this is a 17-week promotion. Only 2,392 of the WoW rewards will be made available each week. That's about 40,000 total mounts for the participants in each region for the entire promotion. So this is going to be pretty limited. Blizzard, so you got to use your Battle.net account to actually log into the Fanta site and do this thing. So it'll be limited per account. So people won't be able to build up a bunch of these, but you might see these mounts on the auction, on eBay or something down the line here, if it's a code that they actually give you, which I think it is. So, but Blizzard's trying to limit the amount of codes every single person can get by limiting them one per Battle.net account. So go click the thing, scan the barcode if you want to try to get the mount or any of these decor items. Fanta's running the promotion, and go drink a Fanta, I guess, too. There's that, too. So go ahead and drink that fucking poison, why don't you? Sam can't read. Why can't I read? Why can't I fucking read? What did I get wrong here? Not interested. Good for people who, I guess, are, yeah, the mount's not that exciting. I will admit, I kind of would have liked to see something better. Yeah, Fanta is nasty as fuck. It's all right. If you like liquid poison or syrup, it's good. I say liquid poison, and here I am loving Baja Blast Mountain Dew from Taco Bell. So I'm not really a beacon of health. That's all. Moving on here. Private auras. Some more private auras have been removed. Blizzard's been doing this as the season is progressing. Private auras from specific dungeon spells have now been removed, allowing healers to, have some add-ons that can actually track these things if they want to. Most recently, we have Fanta Blades. These are a bunch of bleeds. Fanta Blades, Shadow Pounce, Savage Peck, Lasher's Toxin, and Splinter Bark. 3 of these, the last 3 I just mentioned, are from Algathar Academy. Bosses 2 and 1, and then boss 2 from Seat of the Triumvirate has the Shadow Pounce, and then boss 1 from Skyreach has Phantom Blades. So you'll be able to track these a little bit better. These are all bleed effects that can be dispelled. Dispel them, guys. Do the dispels. A lot of dispels this season. I feel like fucking people just parse their dicks off, not paying attention to them. It's always a good idea to dispel shit. And of course, bring an Evoker because they have Cauterizing Flame, which is one of the best dispels in the game. Moving on to the new delve. I don't know if people are aware of this. There was a new delve made available this week, the Parhelion Plaza. This goes forth with the kind of theme of void attacks coming to Silvermoon. Has to do with the void well and everything else. So yes, a new delve is available. You guys can get in, have a good time with that. Check out the new delve. There's a few cool items that you can actually get from this thing. And of course, if it's bountiful or anything else, you can always use bountiful Coffer keys and do all that shit with it. And then finally, this week as well, it's a good idea to do the time walking shit, guys. So first of all, you can get some heroic gear. That's right, for doing the raid. So doing Firelands raid and completing the Disturbance Detected Firelands quest will give you a cache that awards you with heroic piece of gear. A heroic piece of gear, which is freaking great right now. Getting a heroic piece of gear is freaking prime. So it's a really good idea to go run that right now and get that done. But also, you might want to do the Time Walking Dungeons event if you want some non-tier level normal gear, right? I think it's champion level gear that you can get from the Cache of Quel'Thela's treasures. This is for completing the quest for 5 Time Walking Dungeons. Other than that, obviously, all the freaking things that you can get from the Time Walking stuff, right? Some cool decor items if you want decor. This weapon, the Time Lost World Breaker, don't let it fool you. It's actually one of the smallest dick weapons I've ever seen. It's not as big as it is in this art piece. I was very disappointed the first time I ever saw this in game. It's just too tiny. They need to make this weapon bigger. Then you get a bunch of other items that you can purchase while this Time Walking event is live with all of your little, what are these things called? Yeah, the Time Warp badges, that's right. So go buy your shit with your Time Warp badges, have a good time, and for today, that is all in terms of news.